Welcome to this episode on Egypt Awaits, a sneak peek into our Adepts Journey. And I am so overjoyed, like bouncing my seat, to be here with my dear friends, Hatem and Noha Aly, our guides on the ground in Egypt. So welcome, Noha, Hatem. So happy you're here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Danielle.
Thank you.
We're so happy to be with you.
Yay. So we're going to dive into all kinds of fun stuff, including a little bit of Egyptology and a little meditation, perhaps from the guides. But first, I want to start with, just Hatem a little bit, because we've known each other since like early 2000. And just to share a little bit of, introduce you guys, share a little bit about what you've been up to. Yeah.
Okay, as my beautiful friend Danielle said, that we know each other for a very long time, maybe when she was 5 years old. So my name is Hatem Aly. I'm in, I would say the official part, I'm in the tourism business for over 30 years, but usually I don't like to call it tourist or tourism. I call it, it's part of my mission to be helping the people for opening the gate and to have the connection to Egypt and feel the energy of all the temples and the Sphinx and the pyramids in Egypt. So this is giving me light and love and joy. So we love to do this. We love to host you guys as a family. It's not about business. It's really about family. And I'm like 90% of my clients, they are spiritual. And once they come first, they always come like second time, third time, many times. And some people, they even do it like a pilgrimage. So I know people, what they do in their life: work, save money, come to Egypt, be like activated, and to have the feeling of the energy of Egypt, so they can go back home and work and be better people with their beloved, with their family. And I have lots of comments from people that the Egypt trip has changed their life.
Yeah,
Found
absolutely.
their own soul, to found their own light and heart, and yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, it does feel like we kind of grew up together in Egypt, and Friedman and I've been now, I don't know, like 14 or 15 times. And then your beloved wife, Noha, was like a little bit of the best kept secret, because I didn't meet her 20 years ago, right? But now, we work with Noha, also with you, to join our groups, to do the Egyptology. And Hatem, what you're talking about really speaks to our theme of this journey that we're leading in February, which is a heart-opening journey to Egypt based on divine relationships. And so really coming to Egypt to open our hearts, because that was one of the first things that I noticed when I first came, was that I feel like the Egyptians are so relationship rich, like wealthy in relationships and open-hearted and fun. And you demonstrated that too, like in the first 5 minutes, saying that I must have been like 5 when we first met. Yeah. So Noha, what would you share just as an introduction?
I'm the feminine part, the feminine energy. We're trying to make this balance. I'm working in the field since 2004. I'm Egyptologist. Actually, I make a lot of research, special about the connection between the astronomy, what exists in the sky, and what was built in the ancient time. And I really want to thank you very much, because when I worked with you the last time, I see how you reactivate the place with your love and energy, you and your people. You are doing a great job. You are not visiting a place or making tourism. No, actually you are activating the place, and I can feel it very much. So I really thank you. Talking a little bit about the places that we're gonna visit. The temples built in the ancient Egyptian time, they were not only places for making prayers as the people thought. No, between brackets, they are astral gates. So when you are in the location of the temple, you are opening your heart to receive the energy coming from what exists in the sky. Because the ancient Egyptian has a code, has a summary. It's a small sentence, as above, so below. So everything built on the earth of Egypt, it's connected in some point with the energy existing in the sky. So we can consider each temple, as I told you, as an astral gate. The ancient Egyptian in the old time, they lived beside the Nile, and they saw in the sky what we call now the Milky Way. So they thought that the river Nile, it was a reflection of this Milky Way. So they consider Egypt as a mirror of what exists in the sky. That's why they want to copy, or trying to copy, everything from the sky to the land of Egypt. So that's why when we're gonna visit together special temples that you choose, and I know exactly why did you choose these temples, so you will be very connected with the energy coming from the sky, receiving it, recharge with this cosmology and astronomy. And some places, they are more than astral gates. Some, what we call gods, they are more connected than the others. I know exactly Danielle, she's gonna choose some special gods, some special energy, Neteru, as we call it at the ancient time. The Neteru, they are coming from the nature, and she knows how to connect with them, how to be channeling with them, how to receive the energy from them. So we will be all blessed with this energy and power coming from the sky. If we talk, for example, about Isis at the ancient time, until now, she was the divine mother, the loving energy, the unconditional love. So it's a very special Neteret coming from the ancient time. And the location of her temple is amazing. It's really energized with the water of the Nile, connected with Sirius star in the sky. Even if we remove the temple from the original place, but we still have this connection written on the walls of the temple by very special and professional priestess coming from the ancient time. So the temple is in the middle of the Nile, and it's very high power with the energy. And this is one of the example of the temples that we're gonna visit. If you are talking about Isis, Hathor, or Sekhmet, the three of them, I consider the three of them, they are faces for the same coin.
I share a little secret about Isis temple.
Yes.
I mean, Danielle, she's planning for you guys to have an exclusive private visit to visit Isis temple. There will be no one else except our group and the guard and the security, the whole island of Isis temple. And imagine being there, standing at the Holy of Holy, oming and clearing our energy and getting rid of any icky energy. And also imagine being there and see the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful sunrise there. I mean,
Yeah.
remember as
Yeah.
our friend, one of our friends who used to said, read hundreds of books about Egypt, go online, stay forever reading stuff about Egypt, but being there, touching the floor of the temple, connect to the energy of the temple, it's something else. It's
Yeah.
something that beyond what we can even imagine. So
Yeah.
this is a small part. I'm sorry that I
No,
talk
it's
about
good.
secrets.
No, it's good. It's good because as Noha, you were talking about Philae, and I was just imagining myself there. And, you know, I'm not a morning person, but like for Isis and a private visit, like I'll get up early. And I was just remembering, you know, going on the
Yeah.
boat to the temple, you know, seeing the stars, seeing the moon, reflecting on the water, looking like diamonds.
Wow.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Touching me.
walking into the temple before any, like, no lights, no, of course we turn on the lights, but I like to walk in and just all the times that I've been there, and I've been there, you know, and I've bawled my eyes out and the group has cried. I've been there and laughed and had so much joy. I remember my mom, she's come with us like 4 times, and often I would like kind of hide behind the altar stone in the Holy of Holies.
Yeah.
Yes. And she and Freedom would have to come and get me and say, it's time to leave. Like the group is leaving.
I remember. Where is Danielle, everybody?
Yeah,
Danielle.
where's Danielle? I'm telling my secrets now. Everyone's going to know where to look for me. But, you know, Hatem, what do you say when we first arrive? Like when we get there, like what's the thing that you often say?
I mean, it's always what comes from our heart, and it's always, I believe, touch the heart. It's like welcome home.
Yeah, welcome home.
That's and it's coming from my heart, because as I always have this belief that Egypt, it's not home for Egyptian. Egypt, it's home for everybody, for all the human being. So I always welcome the people with my word, welcome home. It's like, yes, it's finally you are here. We miss you, and we're
waiting for you.
Yes. And even your energy is waiting for you. So
Yeah.
just trust and be open and manifest it, and all the doors will be open. Do not worry about, I mean, how it's gonna happen. Just manifest it and open your heart and be ready and imagine yourself there, and the magic will happen.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
Yeah.
And I will remind you of this word when I see you in Egypt.
Yeah, and I remember the first time that I wanted to go, you know, and I went on Nikki Scully's trip, like as a participant, Friedman and I just had that deep calling, and, you know, we didn't have the money to go. And I was going like, how am I going to pay for this? And I had a little wooden box, and I said, okay, any client that pays me in cash, I'm going to put money in this little wooden box. And just like you're saying, you know, like I manifested it, I actualized it because I knew I had a divine appointment with Egypt to go, you know, and we often say like Egypt is calling, Egypt awaits. And it was amazing how clients that I had for massage for years that paid me with check, they started paying me in cash. Like my grandfather gave me a gift at Christmas. He'd never given me any money. So the universe just really does rush in. And of course we have to take action and, you know, be committed too. But I think you're talking about that, just so many miracles and the doors opening. So if we go back to like the welcome home thing and tying in a little bit with what Noha said too, about the connection to as above, so below, as within, so without. And that the Nile and the temples along the Nile are built where Isis found Osiris's dismembered body parts as part of it. So it's really a remembering process. And especially for those that are connected to me and to us that have this kind of, we feel different, like we feel galactic, we feel like out of this world. That it's also coming home to more of our divine nature, more of our galactic nature, more of our best selves. And so the gods and goddesses not only have the representations of like Isis, who's you know, in the gods and goddesses, how they can be anthropomorphic, have like an animal form like Thoth, with the ibis head and the human body, and then the spiritual staff that's carried, yet also like a star form. So what's this?
Yes.
What's the star form of Isis, and where do we connect to her?
So actually, if we are talking about which star in the sky represent Isis, is Sirius star. You know, of course, the Orion constellation. So the Orion constellation represent Osiris. All the time, beside his left leg, we found a small, very shiny star. We call it Sirius star. She's Isis. She's the one who supports him all the time, next to him, make his balance and equilibrium on the sky. So that's why in the legend,
Lucky Osiris.
Yes. But I don't think she's by your leg,
Osiris
Hatem.
from Osiris.
I think she's eye to eye, peer to peer.
Osiris was very
She's always making the magic for him, to
Yes.
support him, and yeah, and sharing the love.
And actually, beside her, also, she has a small shiny star. And this star represents the sister, Nephthys. That's why in most of the scenes, we see Osiris, Isis, and then Nephthys. So we have the Orion constellation, the Sirius star, plus the small star that represents Nephthys.
Yeah, I'm so happy that you brought up Nephthys, because I really have a strong connection to both Isis and Nephthys. And I know a lot of our friends, our clients, our partners who come with us also relate a lot to Nephthys, and maybe also have had like a fear of visibility, or kind of hanging back in the shadows. And so to regain confidence, as you were talking about Sekhmet, like really regaining our confidence. But I feel like Nephthys is misunderstood a lot, like kind of that she's just hidden, where really it's kind of like night and day, the seen and the unseen, that Isis and Nephthys came together to create magic to resurrect Osiris. So is there a little bit more you'd say about Nephthys? And also, of course, we connect to Nephthys when we go to Philae, yet if there are any other places in particular that you feel relate to Nephthys.
Actually, Nephthys, she is the half sister of Osiris and Isis, and she was very supportive for Isis to recollect the parts of Osiris' body, and she's the one who really helped her to have this kind of wings, and they fly together all over Egypt to recollect these parts and put it together with the crying of Isis, which was like the glue. She put all the parts together, and all the time, Nephthys, she was beside her sister. Others saying that not all the people know about Nephthys. At some point, she was married to the other brother, Anubis. Or some stories also talks about Set. She was trying to make this balance in his personality. He was bad, but the bad, it's not bad all the time. You can find a small point, white point in the bad. So she was trying to control this ego in him, control this badness in him. So she was the one who supported her sister, and in the same time, she was trying to make Set not bad all the time, controlling him.
Trying to fix
it. Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, one of the things that I love too about the combination of like the Egyptology and then the channeling and the guides, and then of course, Friedemann as well, my beloved husband, and all of his work that he has in terms of cardiology and working with hypnosis and the mind-body connection, and really helping us to leave those old patterns and integrate the two sides of us that might be night and day, or that might be in conflict with one another. And that's the thing I think is so cool about Egypt, is everyone gets to decide for yourself, what the mysteries are, how the pyramids were built. For me, even though I know that the stories are all brother and sister, and to me, I see them more, and like Anubis being the son of Nephthys and Osiris in some of the stories. To me, I see it more like a palette of colors, and we bring together balancing energies, like the red of Sekhmet and her consort Ptah, the blue, creates this purple of Nefertum, the lotus flower, the divine child. So that's also what happens as we travel along, is that it is recreating that balance and that integration. So Hatem, I want to circle back to something you said in the beginning, which is like, when we go to Egypt, and Isis, it's just us and our group and the guides and the security. And so, I know some people who haven't traveled to Egypt, they might have people that are like well-meaning, that love them, that it just seems like an unknown. And so is there anything you would say to someone who's like, I really want to go, but what do you mean there's security, or is it safe? Like, just really kind of talking about it straight up.
Okay. Speaking about this point, I was talking to Danielle before we start the Zoom. I just came from the States like 10 days ago. And I was visiting some friends, and also I have been to the States for a few times. Our security system is a little bit different, but it's became like kind of a routine. And it's part of this routine, and also part of that money that we pay for the government and the tourist police, and also to make the people feel more secure. But if we're talking about secure or something like this, Egyptian people are so friendly. They love all the tourists. They love, especially the Americans, and they consider you guys like you are coming to visit them in their home, and they like to be a good ambassador for their country. So speaking about safety, I mean, I will die before something happened to anybody, let me tell you. It's absolutely safe. It's absolutely fine. We'll have our own boat, like a yacht in the Nile, and we'll be back in every night in different island, and you will see how the people gonna welcome you.
Yeah.
If you are in the streets in Egypt, or especially in the small villages, or like Abydos or Dandara, I mean, people, they never see you before. They will tell you from their heart, please come and sit, and we'll serve you tea, coffee, we'll serve you meal. I mean, what's happening in Ramadan, people breaking, having breakfast in the streets, and everyone just offering food to everybody in the streets. Egypt is, we have this deep connection, and we have this kind of energy since the ancient Egyptian people that I would say maybe romantic. I would say that we raised in a way that we are warm from inside, and we feel you guys like our family, and we feel proud to share with you the history, and to see Egypt through your eyes and your feeling. And as I said before, we're gonna have this private yacht. It's like a sailing temple.
Yeah, it's very
You
special.
will be visiting from one temple to another temple by this boat. And also we'll have our own chef. We'll have, he's gonna cook for us all the special Egyptian yummy food. Egyptian fruits are really good, and vegetables. Still not that, I mean, it's still kind of organic. Not, they don't use lots of chemicals for growing our fruit. We have the best mango ever.
Yeah, totally.
In Egypt.
The best mango ever.
Orange. I mean, all the Egyptian meals. I mean, we never received any kind of problems with food, even if you have a problem, allergy, with a special kind of food, gluten-free or any kind of this stuff. You just need to let us know, and we'll do our best to serve you from our heart, and to make you feel home, and to get you all the stuff that you like. And I mean, I will never stop talking. It's just come and try. Try the Egyptian food, try the Egyptian hospitality. We'll walk you everywhere, and I mean, we'll feel home. You're gonna feel home.
Yeah,
exactly the same way like when I was in the States, and all of my friends, they take me everywhere, and I feel also the States, it's like my second home.
Mhm.
So Egypt, I mean,
Yeah,
we deal with the people from our heart.
yes.
So we share the love and the energy of Egypt with you. So please come and visit. We miss you guys, and we'll do our best to give you a lifetime trip, and you choose the best leaders. Danielle, and she writes books about Egypt, and Friedman. I miss him so much. Please send my love to him.
I will. Yeah,
And,
well,
I mean, they will take care of you. And Danielle, even the small, tiny details, she have to be aware of every single thing happening. And we planning for you a very ahead of time. And even before you sign up, everything almost ready. Including all the hotels, the cruise, everything ready. We just need you to sign up and leave the rest for us. And we promise that we're gonna spoil you, and you will have a lifetime trip.
Yes.
yeah. Well, and when you say it's like being at home, it's like amazing home, and it can be so healing. You know, I've seen this over and over and over again, just to, especially for all of us who are so self-reliant and ambitious, and we're taking care of all the things, and just to have everything handled, and all we have to do is like show up at a certain time, and, you know, have this exquisite combination of temples and laughter and fun time together and seeing new things. It's even just that alone, without the channeling and the Egyptology and the group energy, which becomes like a family, it's so deeply healing and nourishing. Yes. So Hatem, what are some of your favorite memories of, like, I know you've been on so many groups, but maybe I'll share one that I have with you, you know, of being on a group with us or with others. How do you feel like going to the temples again and again and again and again has changed you? Because I've been, I don't know, 14, 15 times, and every time it feels different. But you both go all the time.
Believe it or not, Danielle, many times from all of this time that I have been like inside the pyramids, or an Isis temple, or an Edfu temple, it has always a special magic to show you something new.
Yeah.
Energetic wise, a special scene that you didn't see before. Also maybe because also, I mean, I work with different guides. Sometimes the guides, they tell the story in different ways.
Yeah.
So they share with you something that last time I was busy and I was not focusing in this part. So it has, I mean, the temple, it has their own magic. And I mean, it's not like I'm going to fix that part of my relationship with my beloved, or I'm going to have this problem solved. So I have to be focused about this. No, just relax
Yeah.
and open your heart, and the magic will happen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like they know your medicine and they're gonna give it to you. And sometimes you don't have to give it to you immediately. Sometimes you don't have to give it to you even during your tour, maybe after you go home.
Yes, absolutely.
You will notice something happening, something different happening to you. So it's not like a doctor is gonna write for you a prescription or a medicine. If you take this 5 times, you will be healed. No. All what you need to do, manifest it, open your heart, and it
magic happens.
will happen.
Yeah, I remember.
If it doesn't happen this moment, it will happen tomorrow. If not, maybe after you go home.
Yeah.
I mean, but it will happen.
Yeah.
I'm quite sure it will happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember when I first started going, I thought like all the magic's going to happen in the temple. And then I watched people and it would be, when they were buying a scarf from somebody, or, when they were just in everyday kind of experiences. So yeah, but I remember one ceremony that Friedemann and I had, and we were at Edfu Temple, and we were standing in front of the solar boat, and Friedemann was like, he looked like Horus the hawk, he has this beautiful nose. And like I was standing across from him, and then everyone was like coming up one at a time, connecting to Horus. And on that group, it was a larger group, in this tour, on this sojourn, we were really keeping it intimate to a maximum of 24 individuals. But that time we had 32. And I was really tuned into like the vertebrae of that. We have like 32 bones in our spine. I was like, where's our 33rd individual? So everyone had come. And then there was Hatem, there you were, like the last one.
Yeah, it's time for me to share.
Yeah. So I know it's this exchange where you absolutely enhance and change our lives and open our hearts. And I know seeing all of us crazy, amazing spiritual folks also, changes all of you. And yeah, I'm also remembering a time where Friedemann had the gong, and like nobody had heard a gong and they were all running in. What is that? So it's also just a lot of fun, so many amazing memories. Yeah. So Noha, anything that you would add before we wrap up here, or anything that stands out to you?
I just remember one thing when you talk about Edfu Temple. I have a picture of you and the whole group. I cannot forget this picture, and I'm gonna share it with you. You were in the small temple dedicated to Hathor beside the Holy of Holies, and I'm the one who took the picture. And you were like in a light boat. I have the picture. It was like the sun above you, and all of you were in a boat. I just remember the picture, and it was an amazing feeling.
Yeah. Beautiful. Well, thank you both so much for being on the podcast and for co-creating this amazing journey together. I know that we are in such great and experienced and loving hands, and it's going to be amazing. So any last words for folks that are thinking about coming with us?
We cannot wait to see you here and to welcome you in your second home, Egypt. And to share, we cannot wait also to share with you all the magic and the light and the good energy of your second home, Egypt. So come and have the experience by yourself. Don't waste time. Just come over.
We love you all, and we are waiting to share with you all the love, the energy, the healing, the power of Egypt.
The food.
Yeah, everything. The love, everything.
Yes.
Yeah. Beautiful. Well, love you both and can't wait to see you in February.
Love you.